Hello everyone, my name is Richard Vigorelli and this is Vigorelli Institute. I watched a movie, and if you're not keen on reading, or this kind of just popped up for you, here we are. Spinal Tap. Came out the year after I was born I was born in 83, this came out in 84. It is what is known as a mockumentary. Producer, director, and the first guy on camera is Rob Reiner, playing a fictional guy. Now, I like to call him Rob Weiner, just because his posts on Twitter are kind of whiny. So, Anyway, moving on. So, what this is about is moving through the 70s into the early 80s, even into the mid-1980s, there was a genre of music called heavy metal. There was a subgenre of that called hair metal. This is Twisted Sister, Rat, Warrant, Great White, so many others. Poison, for instance. Varying degrees of its good. Okay, well, because of the popularity, and inexplicable popularity, I might add, of the type of music, people loved it and hated it at the exact same time, even if that is the same person. Meaning, dude, I love the music. These people are idiots that are making it. So what they decided to do was make a movie about the behind-the-scenes lives and tours of these acts. Okay? So what they did was they grabbed a bunch of British and American bands and smashed their idiosyncrasies up together, put it in a blender, poured it out, and made a fake band called SpinalTap. Now, I did some math with these guys, and according to the movie, they formed in, the two main guys, there's a blonde guy and a kind of a reddish brown-haired guy named Nigel. I don't remember the blonde-haired guy's name because he wasn't that interesting. He's just kind of a douche. Anyway, they grew up childhood friends, and they learned how to play music together, and they did their first song together in 1957. And looking at the picture, they're give or take 9-10 years old. So that puts them being born, give or take, 1947, 1948, which makes them boomers. And the movie takes place in 1982. So we do some math, and these guys are give or take 38 years old. They're nearing middle-aged. And it is canon in the film that Spinal Tap itself in 1982 has been around for 15 years and released, I think he said, 17 albums. So they would be part of pop culture. Okay? So 1982 minus 15 would put them 1967. Okay? Which is right when they did their very first piece. And it was kind of the cutesy quasi-rock stuff of the late 1960s. And they're standing up, like knickerbockers. Go ahead and look up what that is. And jackets and hats, playing on something like Ed Sullivan. Okay, go ahead and look that one up too. So they graduated to metal in the 70s and just kind of took off from there. So the whole movie is them going around the United States. Oh, for God's sakes. Computer. Anyway, is going around the United States with on a tour promoting a brand new album. That it's basically going to be their last one until, they decide to do another. And the whole thing is just falling apart, okay? Memphis, the show is canceled because the people who were going to market this stupid thing decided, we don't want to pay for it. So that's gone. They're moving all over the Midwest and into the plains, and just the stuff is falling apart. Okay, it's all meant as a joke. And it is on these backstage bits that we get famous lines that were never actually said. Okay, the first one is 11 is louder than 10. So background on this one is Nigel is showing Rob Reiner's character one of their amps. Now, back then, an amp only went to 10. I'm not sure if they still do, but whatever. And it's this piece of late 1970s, early 1980s technology. Okay, so it's about twice the size of this thing and about half as tall. Okay, it's got a faux wood shell on it, and the face is kind of a taupe beige plastic, and it's got brass and nickel knobs and accents on it. Okay, and on the counters, they're analog counters, or are they digital? I forget. Either way, that's where you get the 10, but they've got another one on there that says 11. All of them have it. And the guy says, wow, this is kind of neat. He says, yeah, see, we put the 11 on there just in case we need that extra punch to make the song really hit. And guy says, well, is it because, well, why not make, 10 just louder and leave the count? You can easily augment this. He says, because that's one louder than 10. Okay? It's one louder. We can do more with 11. Okay, he never says 11 is louder than 10. Now, fast forward one or two more stops, and they're backstage, and the same guy, Nigel, he's backstage. I know that was redundant. I'm sorry. And the people organizing the concert have put out like a sandwich tray and a veggie tray and all of this, and Nigel doesn't quite understand what's going on. I'm not sure if he's high or just stupid, possibly both. Anyway, he picks up this bread, and it is about the size of a half-folded dollar bill. Okay? And he says, look at this. This is ridiculous. This is tiny. I can't eat this. And he holds up a piece of salami that's about yay big. Okay? It's a flat piece of lunch meat. So it's, like, I can't eat my sandwich like this. Okay? The bread is too small. So he says, well, do you need bigger bread? Then he says, yes, I would love some. Because he says, well, we don't have any. This is kind of what we got. Why don't you just take the salami and you fold it? He says, well, I can't fold the bread. If I fold the bread, it breaks. And he demonstrates this. The bread just falls apart. So he doesn't quite understand that you can leave the bread alone and just fold the stuff that's going to be between the slices of bread. And he starts freaking out. He says, this is ridiculous. It's a joke. He picks up a pimento olive and says, and look at this thing. It's got this little guy in here. This is ridiculous. I can't eat this. He picks up a mushroom that's had the stem removed. He says, and look at this. There's nothing in here. Okay? Yeah. See, what he's doing is he's making fun of the way music acts are with their food, their water, what we now call diva behavior. Okay? Troublesome stuff with being, talented and rich, and allegedly everybody loves you. So their manager eventually quits over a debacle that happens with a stage piece. Okay, now they order a piece of Stonehenge to be made out of foam. Okay, and they write the design down on a cocktail napkin and they hand it to the lady to build it. Now, it's supposed to be 18 feet tall, but they accidentally mark it in inches. So she builds it 18 inches tall. And they're doing this song called Stonehenge. And, this is supposed to be this, whole mystical thing. It's taken a lot from Led Zeppelin and also from the Doors, because they like to do stuff like that, too. And, they hit the da-da-da-da-da bit of the song, and they lower down this miniature of the Stonehenge monolith. It's 18 inches tall, and they release these two little people, that's the word I can use, to dance around it like elves. And they're twice as tall as this thing. They can't dance at all. It is very comical, which is the idea. So we're backstage in the next shot. He's going like, this is ridiculous. We had this monolith that looks like it's about to be crushed by tiny dwarven people. Okay. Well, the blonde guy, his girlfriend is named Janine. She's actually very pretty. And she's dressed, kind of an 80s rocker hair chick thing, as you do. And she says, she says to stage manager, I think you're just overworked, dude. Okay, let me help you. Let me pick up some slack. And of course, this guy, he gets all upset and he says, oh, you think I'm incompetent, do you? Blah, blah, blah. And he storms off and quits. Okay, so now Janine is running the show. And they go to the next bit. She finds an Air Force base for them to perform at. Now, in the 80s, the Air Force is rather conservative. So they started singing a song about, doing it. And nobody at this Air Force gala thing on base is happy with it. So Nigel has a thing on his belt so he can walk around while playing his guitar. It's actually a radio. Well, this thing, instead of picking up his music, is picking up the bass call. So he looks at it, he gets all upset, throws down his guitar and storms off and quits the band. Okay. The whole show is just fraught with things. The stage pieces malfunction. They get stuff thrown at them. It's a mess. And all three of the major guys, they're idiots. Okay. And you can just tell in the way they talk. Okay. Now, interestingly, at the beginning of the movie, and towards the end, we discovered that there's been 37 members of SpinalTap in 15 years, okay? There's the three guys that are the main three, and you got the one, he's got the mustache that goes all the way down to here, okay? Got the blonde guy and Nigel. They've always been there. But backups, drummers, and so forth, that's just been a revolving door. And Rob Reiner's character asked, so, well, what happened? Oh, they died. What? So, well, we got this one guy. He met with a very mysterious gardening accident. Another guy literally exploded on stage. There was a green flash of light and poof. There was just residue on a stool. It was weird. Okay? And, the documenter is looking at him like, okay. So he's thinking, there's something up with these guys and with the way they act, probably. So eventually Nigel and the blonde hair guy do reconnect, and he rejoins the band just in time for them to go back to Britain, and that's the end of the show. Now, I did check on Amazon. You can get the albums, okay? They are on CD. You can also digitally download them, and I've actually got them on my wish list on Amazon. So there. On the back of this, you've got Flower People Press Conference, the original theatrical trailers, 6 TV commercials, Heavy Metal Memories, 4 music videos, and SpinalTap appearance on the Joe Franklin Show. There's also an interview with Rob Reiner and over an hour of never-before-seen footage, mostly what I just read. So, interestingly, second or third season of South Park, SpinalTap did an appearance. Yeah. And they have a bad day. As they're cruising along, leaving, this is where Bart and Milhouse go to a heavy metal concert, and the whole thing falls apart. Now, as young as I was, I didn't understand what was going on. My dad thought it was hilarious. Anyway, they're in the tour bus, and they're leaving Springfield, and they're talking about how good of a time they had, and the bus crashes and explodes. That's it. So, it's about all I've got for you on SpinalTap. I do recommend it. If you like really stupid, plotless comedy that isn't, gross out and things like that, and it's trying to be intelligent, but in a very cheeky way, highly, highly recommend this is SpinalTap. Okay? So, if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you so much. And also visit my website, vimandvigorelli.com. You can get stuff like this thing, other stuff, lots of books, more being written. Working on that today, hopefully. And also give me a follow on Twitter. Handle is in the description. I will be back later. You take care. Bye-bye.